I'm out here searching for the ultimate adventure camera, and I think I might have found it. Here's the 3 best and 3 worst things about the Sony 100 RX5, or V, or Roman characters, I don't know. So we'll just jump right into it. The 3rd worst thing, there are no add-ons. This camera is what you get. There's nothing you can really do to add on to it. There's no external mic jack. There's a couple HDMI, but that's about it. There's not a lot you can do to build up this camera, unlike the Sony A series or honestly most other DSLRs where you could add lights or mics or whatever you need to make it a little bit better. Even the lenses, which are solid, I think it's a 24-70, it does the job, but there's no way to change this out. Everything you have on the camera is going to be staying there. 3rd best thing about this, the screen. This is an awesome little articulating screen. For vloggers, it's fantastic because you actually can see what you're looking at. If you're doing anything or you need to be looking down, it pans this way. It's nice, it's durable, and it also folds right up. Like all Sony screens, this screen is gonna take a beating. So, although I've put it through its paces, I do wonder how long this thing will survive. But the articulation in this screen is absolutely incredible. Number -2, and +2. Size. This camera is not big. If you're used to a larger DSLR, it can be a little odd at first to actually get your hands on this thing. It is not a big camera. And so the buttons can be a little hard to reach sometimes. It can be a little awkward to try to press the video button or get to where you're going. So the size of this camera can be a little confusing. However, I think that's also one of its top attributes. There's a lot packed into this little package. And so even though the buttons can be kind of hard to reach sometimes, what you're cutting in weight, what you're cutting in size, ultimately I think is pretty worth it. Okay, so that brings us to the worst thing about this camera. Battery. The #1 downside of this camera is this battery. Now, you really couldn't fit anything bigger in this camera. It's a very compact thing, and I kind of see why the battery has to be where it is. Unfortunately, it's not powerful enough for what this camera really needs to be doing. And unfortunately, you really have to plan around the battery when you're shooting with this. So this is your main camera, you're almost gonna have to buy one of these $30 to $40 extra batteries, unless this is your B camera, in which case you might be fine. Other downsides is they happen to place the battery right in the middle of the tripod slot. So there's physically no way you can have a camera on a tripod and switch out the batteries. Now, if you're in a position where you're just shooting, this could be totally fine. Just grab another battery, perhaps even throw it in a charge, everything will be fine. However, if you're in a location where it is not possible to change out the battery without getting some dirt, some snow, maybe some water in, this is gonna throw some real wrenches in your filming plans. The best thing about the Sony RX100v, and for me, that's the sum of the parts. This camera has a little bit of everything in it. It's not the best in any of the fields, but it's above average in all of them. It has an awesome lens, a 1.8. It's got a solid zoom. It's got decent, it's got a good viewfinder. It's even got a pretty solid flash. The screen makes it almost unbeatable, and it shoots in 120 frames per second or 4K. And all of this comes in a very thin, compact, single body. There's not much you can do to upgrade this camera right now, but honestly, that's kind of fine. And to me, this makes this one of the best options I've seen for any adventure camera out there. It's small, it's durable, it's portable, it has everything on board, it does zooms, it does wides, it shoots slow motion. This camera does it all. And although other cameras might do it better, no camera that I've seen is going to be beating this one in size or portability. And it's not the best camera you have that matters, it's the camera that you have on you when you need to get the shot. And I'm going to be carrying this one around with me a lot. So there you have it, the Sony RX100 Mark V. I'll throw stats below as well as the link to the footage I've shot. In the meantime, feel free to comment, like, subscribe while I try to wander my way out of this wilderness with a mirror. You'll have plenty of time. I have no idea where I am.